All right, we are on page 6-17 in the text. We're getting ready to start what is I'm naming as the base box. So you can see the what the image looks like. This is what we will be going ahead and replicating and drawing. We're going to be using several of the tools. The move, copy, trim, extend tools, the erase tool. We're also going to be using ISO draft as well, so that you're familiar with how to use that. So start off, if you haven't already, open your template file. We'll go ahead and do a file save as. You do want to save this as BaseBox -ISO. Remember, we're using ISO for our isometric drawings because that is what we are drawing on here. And then followed by hyphen with your first initial and your last name. So go ahead and click save. So that you get that in here and we get that started. Now I'm going to hit the F7 key and turn on the grid. Notice my both my grid mode and my snap mode are both on as well. We're going to take a look at these in a few minutes, but I don't want the orthographic grid. So this is the orthographic grid. So we're going to change that right now to the ISO plane left. So, and in order to do that, we do have to turn on the ISO draft. So we can click on the ISO draft here. So just another place we can go over to our customization tab, which is right down here in the lower right-hand corner. We can also kind of turn it on through that way too, to make sure your isometric drafting is showing here as well. So once your isometric drafting is showing, then you can come over and click on the ISO draft tab to turn that on. And at this stage, I am in the ISO plane left, which is where I want to be. So we'll go ahead and keep that there. I'm going to go up to my line tool to start. Now, notice as we're kind of in this particular line tool, it's given us a specify first point. Now, you'll notice we can't do a whole number in the X, but it is giving us whole numbers in the Y. So it doesn't necessarily matter. Just want you to kind of pay attention to that as we go. We're going to be entering the actual numeric values here when we go. And we're going to start by activating the construction line layer and drawing this on the construction line. So let's go ahead and just pick a point somewhere in the screen. Now notice I have zoomed in, so where I'm pretty close to the origin point. So if you are zoomed way out, if you're getting really super large numbers showing up here, then you might want to zoom in a little bit. All right, so let's kind of go in here. I'm going to left click to place this, and then I'm moving my cursor up and to the left because I want to get that over there, kind of moving at 30 degrees. The line length here is going to be 5 inches, so I'm going to hit 5. Then the tab button, and this is going to be at 150 degrees. So, and then hit enter. Now, so I've got that in place. We can move up now, and we're going to do our vertical line. So at this point, you may have to zoom out. We'll take a look. Our vertical line here is 4.75. 4.75. Tab over. This is going to be 90 degrees. So again, just kind of pan and bring that into full view. So we are moving over now to create this L shape at the inclined angle. So, and we see that the distance, so it's showing right here on our drawing, the distance of that leg or the thickness of the leg is 1.25. So enter that in, hit tab. This is going to be at 30 degrees. So, and hit enter. So now we're going to go back down, and you'll see we are getting it it's wanting to auto snap. So let's go ahead and turn off the snap mode so that we don't have to try to worry with this. We do want this to be at 90 degrees. We again have to do some math. We know that we're 4 3/4 overall in the height, and the leg thickness here is 1 1/4. So we're going to have to do some basic math. 4 3/4 minus the 1 1/4 will be 3 1/2. So this line length is going to be 3.5. Tab over, make that at 90 degrees, and hit enter. Now we're coming back over here and we're going to match this up. And again, we're doing some basic math. We see that the overall is 5 inches and our thickness was 1.5 or 1.25. So we take 5 minus the 1.25, and this line length will be 3.75. Tab over. At this point, this is going to be 30 degrees. Hit enter. Now we can just go in and close that off. So there is the beginning of this particular drawing. Now, we can kind of change to the ISO top, and we can start to draw from here in the ISO plane. We can kind of go to the ISO plane right. We can start to draw in this area. So there are different ways to do this. We're going to go ahead and keep it in the ISO plane, but for right now, I am going to turn my grid off so that you can better see this, because I am going to copy some stuff over, and we're going to watch and see what difference it makes between the ISO plane left and the ISO plane top. So we're going to use the copy button here. I'm going to select these three, or actually these 4 lines here. So those are the only ones that I want to copy right now. I'll go ahead, now that I've selected all 4 of those entities, hit enter. It asks for the base point. So we're going to come down and we're going to grab this point right here. Now notice how it's allowing us to kind of start to move from that point, and we see specify the second point. Well, in this case, we see that that's going to be 5, tab 30 degrees here to place that. So, and right click, hit enter to get off of that screen. Now notice which direction it went. So, and this is exactly how we would want that to be. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to hit the undo button here. So, and we're going to change so that we see the interaction of the ISO draft. We're going to change that to ISO draft top. So we're going to see if there's any difference here. So now let's go ahead and we'll hit the copy button again. So select those 4 entities, hit enter, come down and select the base point. Now do the same thing here. So this is going to be 5 for the distance of the depth, tab 30 degrees. Notice it's putting it in the same place. So we can do that either way, and we can be in either of these, basically because of the way we're entering that command. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the ISO plane left. So I'll continue. At this point now, I can say, well, I can kind of connect these lines. So we're going to right-click repeat. So right-click enter to place the line. So right-click repeat. So we're placing all of these lines. So right-click repeat, left-click on the endpoint, left-click on that endpoint, right-click or left-click enter. So left-click repeat the line. So or left-click, right-click, and enter. So now we've got this more or less spelled out in terms of our actual angle iron. We'll say this base box or angle iron in this way. So go ahead and get that taken care of. I'm going to stop right here with this video. Then I'll come back with the second tutorial. We'll go with and try to continue to see how we can get the radiuses up in these corners, and of course the other features that are on this part as well.